right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and it is an absolute honor again to have my good buddy, and he don't like it when I say this, but I'm saying it anyway. Legend Paul McKee up in the house. Paul, welcome back, baby.
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Good, man. It's been a crazy week. But yeah, I'm here, living, loving it, and dude, let's go, right? Like this is
Let's
what it's
go.
all about. So it's snowing, cold as you know what here, and
hmm
yeah, so that's what I've been doing. My son's getting ready to go to his buddy's house down the street. Wife's going to the grocery store. I think I'm gonna make some lasagna soup for dinner tonight. And yeah, I'm gonna chill. I'm probably gonna get on the PlayStation, play a little PlayStation. I ain't played that in a while. Let's see. I watched a new movie with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon on Netflix, which is really good, by the way. If you guys ain't seen it, you should definitely check that out. I mean, just laundry, some of the adult bullshit that we got to do every day, right? So
Right. It's a perfect day for that today.
it really is. I mean, yeah, it really is.
I think the feels like was one even here in Birmingham this morning. So cold.
Very cold, my friend. Very cold. Yeah. So yeah, Paul, I've had you on several times. I think this is our third or fourth time sitting down together. I can't remember. I have to go back and look. Third. Okay. See, everybody remembers but me. You talk about here, right? I got to think. I'm like, how many times? And anyway, obviously the first time we had you on, it was your whole beautiful journey. And then we did a season recap last year. Well, I had you on, I think mid-season last year, if I remember correctly. So I just want to do a quick, 2025, how your season went for you. I know we got to hang out some last year, which is absolutely amazing. I'm looking forward to it again this year for sure.
For sure.
So yeah, how 2025 go? I already know how it went, but tell everybody how it went for you.
It was great. I decided that this was going to be the year of the crash, so I started early. I think I was 2 laps into the season opener and decided to take a jaunt off the track into the wilderness. It was at Roebling, so sand for days. I think there was sand in parts of me and the bike for the remainder of the season. So it was good. I mean, no injuries. The bike was a little messed up. And then from there, we had a good season. I wasn't able to get, when we spoke last time, I think there was like 3 regional championships still on the line. We were close. We weren't able to get those. We did get the 2 regional championships, which were the ones that I was really pushing for. So I was pleased, thrilled with that. I had a fun season as always. The people there are great. The places we get to go to are awesome. So minus the couple crashes and a little bit of underperforming because I had some mechanicals this year. I'm still trying to get used to the newer bike. And then I have a couple issues that I'm trying to work out. So we're not fully there, and I think there's still a little bit of residual from my bad accident last year where I hurt my back. So, just trying to work my way back from that. And I had a great time, and I feel great on the bike. I just don't know if I'm back up to speed just yet. And, of course, the competition always getting better every year. Always someone new coming up who's flying and someone who last year has gotten much better. So I never expect to go out there and have it handed to me, except for in the bad way. And I got that a few times last year, but I love it. I'm in it for more reasons than just the wins. So I had a great time, and I got some wins, and I got some trophies, a couple championships. So thank you, Lord. Awesome year. No complaints. We're gonna try to keep it more upright this year, but it's racing. If you're not pushing, honestly, that's kind of a result of actually trying to go faster. So in reality, the guys who are really trying to seriously go faster, it's kind of a preset destination. You're going to find your way to the ground. You just hope you learn from it and it's not too bad. And that's what happened to me last year. It wasn't anything serious, just kind of some reminders that you better be prepared and keep your head in the game at all times. And even then something can happen. So I'm glad that they were as minor as they were, and overall 2025, awesome, man. Thank you. Good year.
Proper mega.
Correct.
Man, I got this. Hang on. My mic. Do you hear that reverb?
I'm not picking it up.
Yeah, I am. I'm picking it pretty bad. Let me see if I can do something with this. All right, Mike. What's going on with my mic? Anyway, I'm gonna fix it as we're talking.
Okay.
Uh, when I talk, I hear myself like it's echoing back in my ear,
Impossible. I have to hang up if you're just doing that on the phone. Yeah.
bro.
So
Uh,
good luck, bud.
right? Mental struggle, part of the mental game of life, right? We'll push
Right.
through. We will make it happen. 2025 was a great year, 2 championships. Uh, and you're correct. When you push, you're gonna wreck. I mean, it's inevitable, right? Everybody does it. Main thing is that you're okay. You got back up and you made it happen, you know. Last year when I had you on mid-season, I asked you who your biggest challenger was, right? Did that end up being the same challenger throughout the rest of the season?
Yeah. I would say there's usually a group. I think in any class, you're going to have a group of guys who are usually running at the front. So last year, I would say, because I ran two classes. In one class, Adian, he just cleaned up. He had an awesome year. He was absolutely the champ, and he killed it. So he was rolling, and he had a phenomenal year and a good guy. So I'll say it's always fun to win, but when you lose to good people who are fast, then the wound is a little lessened. So he had an awesome year, and I just couldn't keep up with him. I got him a couple times, so I'll hang that on my my co-rack of good deeds for last year. But he cleaned up, and then in the other class we had Rafe and Mark were doing great, and a couple guys who came from another organization, and they kind of had a team, and they were rolling this year. So they were the ones that I was competing with at Atlanta for the last regional championships. And I think it got split between two of those guys. I'm trying to remember back to now, but it was awesome. To watch them race right in front of me was a joy unto itself. I wish I could have hung with them, but like I say, they're awesome. And Rafi's actually moving into Moto America this year. So that dude is on an absolute mission. And if you hadn't already talked to him, I'm sure you will. He's awesome. He's just a real joy around the paddock. He's done a lot, to encourage and be there for me. And when he came in, he was slower than me, and now he is just gone. And I love to see it. So he's got a real passion for the sport, a real grit, determination. He's doing what you have to do if you're going to go pro, is basically make it your every free moment that you can spare. You're on the track in some form or fashion. So I know he's doing some work with BJ Jacobson down in there in Florida in the off season. So he's doing the real deal, and I expect him to be strong in the class this year. I think he's gonna run twins this year, I do believe.
Oh, he is? With who? Just his own team?
I don't. He hasn't announced anything for this year. He certainly deserves some support. I don't know if up to now he's been independent, but we'll see.
Be awesome.
Yeah.
All right, let me see. I'm gonna try to change this. All right, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, I think that's better. I think I cured it. Yes, let's go. I don't hear it. Woohoo! Let's go. Anyway, success. Finish it.
That's right.
Yeah, it's always good. Iron always sharpens iron. And when you have new characters come in from different regions, it mentally makes you progress. And I don't want to say push more, but a little fire starts because now you got new competition coming in, and you got to be like, this is my house, baby. Like, no, absolutely not. So yeah, proud of you, man. I know we ran into each other at the cycle jam at Road Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And then I seen you at Mid Ohio. You were helping out with Jeremy Tubbleman. Both
right.
events. Both events.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Correct.
Yeah. And then Carbon Merrill was with you too as well, if I remember right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Carbon. Yeah, he was crew chiefing for Jeremy that weekend, or one of the weekends.
So. I think it was the cycle jam weekend because
it was at Atlanta, and then he was working with two teams at Ohio, I do believe, kind of doing some split duties. But yeah, we saw you both those, and I tried to catch you at Daytona, but it was wild. Daytona, it's so spread out. You were going one direction, I was 2 miles away at the same track.
Yeah, that's the thing, man, is always want to spend as much time as I can with all my friends. But this is how it goes for me personally. I don't know about you. When I feel like I'm free for a moment from doing this, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go find Paul or Jeremy or whoever. When I do see you guys are doing this, or you're working on the bike, and I know it's the race weekend. I'm not trying to just walk up and interrupt you guys because you have a job to do, right? And we always say hi anyway, but I always love to sit down and at least try to catch up. Will you be at Daytona this year?
That's the plan.
Yeah,
Correct.
I'll be there too.
That's right.
March,
Well, all
let's
right.
go.
We'll figure it out this year. I'm gonna find you.
Oh
I
yeah,
saw
for
you
sure.
down there announcing. I could see you on the big screen, but just couldn't get down there to you.
That's all right.
Well, yeah, I'll be working with Jeremy. He's going to run Daytona this year,
Yep.
so I'll actually be. It might be more difficult to catch up with you this year because I'll be doing pit duties with him, crewing for him. So we'll see. Obviously, when you're doing that, your time is minute, but I'm sure we'll cross paths
Oh,
at some
dude,
point.
you just text me what garage you're in, blue or yellow, and I'll be there, right? Like
Yeah, man.
that easy. Yeah, for
Coming
sure.
up quick. They'll be here, what, a few weeks, man. Fast.
Man, it seems like at the end of the year, everybody's bummed. We're excited because the season's kind of over, right? And we get to sit and reflect, and then we're like, man, it's gonna be so long. And then next thing you know, January comes. It's the end of January. You're like, dude, I'm excited. We're gonna go back racing again. Let's go.
I never feel that way, Chris. I'm talking about the moment I put the bike up, I already feel like I'm behind for next year. I never get caught up. I have since day one, I have never felt ahead of the game. There's always something, something with the bike or something new to learn or, sponsorship stuff, gear, just stuff you have to kind of keep an eye on, upgrade, stuff like that. So for me and my particular character and mind, it's good that I have a few months because that's about what I need to prepare for another race season without forgetting 1,100 things and remembering it when it's like race week. So even now I've got, I don't know, four weeks, something like that. And I feel like there's just a time ticker just pounding in my ear right here, but we'll be ready. But I never feel caught up. So that's just the way it is.
A lot of people don't understand what it takes to going into the next season, right? And all the preparation behind it, whether you're seeking new sponsorships, you got to get a new leather suit. You got to, if you maybe lost a little weight, gained a little weight, you got to get remeasured. It takes 4 to 6 weeks to make, and all those things in between.
Graphics on the bike, graphics on your suit, anything you're sending out as promo stuff has to be updated. Your resume, it feels like that when I'm at the track, but at home when but you're having to do all that basically minutia, the office work, but it builds up. And if you don't kind of keep on it, then yeah, you find yourself at the new year kind of behind the 8 ball and everything.
Yeah.
And then it's race week and you're just trying to catch up.
100%. And there's Philip Chape, dude, you're right, man. He says, dude, the work never stops. It don't. It's a constant, again, I just said it, seeking new sponsorship, getting updated leathers, changing the colors around, new patches, old patches, everything in between, and then getting the sticker kit, whether it's from REB Graphics or Dripping Wet or wherever you get them, GRG Designs or wherever you get them from, right? All that takes time, and they got a lot of work on the background. So it's you hear me say it all the time. There's important puzzle pieces, right? It's all those little mini important puzzle pieces that makes the sum of the whole picture and how your season starts, and also throughout the rest of the season. So,
yeah, your time on the bike actually is pretty minimal in comparison to everything else you have to do. That's why when I'll be at a race and someone will have a race where they weren't competing against a lot of people, and they feel kind of embarrassed because they didn't, it's like, well, I got first place, but there wasn't really anybody to compete against, or there was nobody at all, right? It was just a gimme. And I try to remind them that, well, in a sense, right, at the peak of where you're trying to go, the pinnacle of what you want to do, yes, that's not, you don't want to win against nobody or against no competition, just run away with it. You want to have battles, but that doesn't mean that it's not of value. It's still something to be proud of, because just to get to a race, just to have your license, to have all your equipment, your bike to be ready, all those things is a real Herculean effort. So just to make that, and then to go out there, race, risk your life, risk your health, and then finish. I would love to be the fastest guys, but if you take home a trophy just for showing up, that's still something. It's still a meaningful thing to me, and I hope it is for other people as well, because like you said, it's like the dude said, it never stops. The work is a continual thing, and the moment you let up, you're behind, because there are guys like Rafi and Adian who are constantly grinding, and they're not, if you let up, then that's fine. You're going to be passed next year in multiple ways, maybe with sponsors, maybe with bikes, maybe with just time, but got to keep on it.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like the preparation for the next season, there's so much that goes into it. And you're right. When you get on the bike, it's like you're riding for this much, but the preparation for it and everything that goes into it is this much, and of course, all the logistics, you got to plan the travel and the hotels. If you stay in a hotel or sleep in the truck, or you're carrying your dogs with you, right? So there's just so much. Tire warmers. I always had a list. I never forget when I showed up to a race and I forgot my key. Mad as hell, dude, right?
Yeah.
I was unprepared. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
We've all been there, but that's how we learn. Luckily for me, I was about 45 minutes away, so I was like, I'll be back.
Yeah, if I didn't have my track list, I would probably forget something vital every time. So, I mean, you have to be, like you said, you have to book trips. You have to be a booking agent. You have to be your own personal agent to sell yourself to sponsors. You have to be a mechanic. You have to be design with some of this stuff. So unless you've got a team doing that, most of the privateers, they're just, I mean, even some of the guys who are running Mo America, I mean, most of that stuff, they're just having to hustle behind the scenes and train, stay in shape, go to the gym in between all that stuff. So it's, you learn a lot of different skills before you're even able to get on that track. And say once you're out there, it's over in a flash, and then you're back to having to like prepare for what's next. Tire immediately. I mean, as soon as that race is over, you're thinking about gas, tires, transponder. The list, everyone who's listening knows the list is exhaustive and a lot to remember.
110%.
For me, I have
to full-time job too as well.
Right. Yeah. Almost everyone who's racing, almost everyone is working at least in some capacity, if not full time. Most of the guys, right? Most of the guys are doing full-time jobs, and they're getting home and having to fit this in, at night or early in the morning or on the weekends. And yeah, I'd say it's admirable. That's what I mean. There's no trophy given to any of these organizations that is worthless. It's something. You want to beat the fast guys, but it's not, they're not giving those away for free. You can't just go get one. So I still have much respect for anyone who's made the effort to get out there and do it.
I see you got many of them in the background of the wall back there. Yeah, look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, baby. This is my favorite place in the house. We got all the horses right here, man.
I love it. I love it. We got a comment in here. Brian Smith, bro. What is up, my man? He says, hell yeah, Paul is the real deal, man. Can't wait to continue to dice it up on track with him this year. You both are badass, man. You are too, my friend. Thank you for the love, baby.
Thank you, Brian. Brian's sick, man. He's trouble. So he was one of the ones I was talking about. He showed up and he's just, so that's why he's hyped, because he's on a roll. He knows he's gonna be faster than me this year. He's rolling, man. He's got skills and he's not afraid, and he's running 2 different bikes, and he's one of those guys that, yeah, I think he does most, if not all, of his mechanic work. So just bad to the bone. So yeah, I look forward to mixing it up with him, and I hope to be able to run with him this year, because he's been rolling, and I'm real proud of him, and I look forward to watching him be successful, because he will. And he's got such an awesome attitude. He's just like most of the people in the paddock, he's just a really cool guy, even if he wasn't a racer. But on top of that, he's bad A.
Absolutely. I met him.
Slow down.
Yeah, slow down, Brian. Brian's like, you speed up.
I'm working on it, buddy. I'm old, man. Come on.
Dude, we're getting younger. What are you talking about? Old.
That's right.
That's not even in my vocabulary.
I feel great. I'm coming for you, Brian. Coming, buddy.
Yeah, I had the honor.
I'm gonna be right in your way.
At Road Atlanta, I seen Brian and his dad. He had the CBR 1000 and the CRF 450 Supermoto. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
out there absolutely ripping it up for sure. So
Yeah, them motos are trouble, buddy. They are trouble. It's a bad bike. I wish I had one myself. It's a cool bike. I wish I had one to do a lot of off-season stuff. A lot of the supermoto stuff is just really cool. I tried to get that set up this year, just didn't come together. But that's a mean bike, and he's a fast dude, so we're in trouble.
it's all right. You just got to step it up, Paul. That's all.
That's all you gotta do. Just go faster.
Just go faster.
That's all you gotta do.
Just do this more, right?
I'm just gonna tape it back and just see what we can do, baby.
Yeah, just zip tie. That's it. Zip tie. 200-mile-an-hour zip tie, right?
Check. Zip ties fix everything, baby.
Zip ties and 200-mile-an-hour duct tape, no matter what color it is. We got Shane Lloyd Maggs. Man, what is
the original number 29? The guy had to beg. I had to beg Weir to let me have 29, and they let me have it because he's so much better than me and a pro. So like, we're never gonna cross paths on the track. So I was able to take the number, but I wanted it for a special reason to me before I even knew it was Shane's. But now it's got double fantastic meaning. I hope I'm doing it doing good by your number, Shane.
Absolutely.
So, doing my best, but.
He says, we love you guys. We love you too, Shane. Absolutely, mate. Can't wait to see you at Daytona. So what's the meaning behind the number 29, Paul?
It was my dad's birthday, and that was he was born on July 29th, 1955, and that was kind of the motivating factor. I had been riding bikes, and I had been to some races, but when I lost him, like I say, it was this wave of energy that was coming towards me, and I had to do something with it, and that was what got me into racing. So I decided, if possible, I was going to try to honor that feeling with a number, and luckily 29 was available because Shane is amazing and moved on to Moto America and left behind the number for me. So I love it, and I'm proud to run it, and love you, Shane. Good to see you. I hope to see you soon, man. I guess Daytona, he'll be there. Lord will. I soon.
Yeah, I'm sure he will be. Motor Drone, let's go, right? Yeah, Motor Drone racing. We got Robert Maxwell. What's up, man? He says, Paul, are you running in Azure this year? And Chris Simcoe, let's go. Let's fucking go, bro.
I'm not, but I have been encouraged to do so. I'm just, the way my schedule and my life fits out, it's good to just kind of stick with Weir, and I feel comfortable. I love the organization, but Azra is on the move, and obviously they've got a lot of awesome momentum. I know a lot of really good dudes and cool people who are over there. So in an ideal world, if I had the time and the resources, yeah, I would love to run Azra, especially there's a couple of dates that I would really enjoy and be able to run with some guys that I just, I know on a different level or through sponsorships or something else that I would be able to actually spend some time on the track with them. So that would be great, but as of now, probably not. But you never know. If there's a way to do a one-off, absolutely. I'm hoping maybe to do the event at Barber at the end of the year with Arma too. So anytime I can get in a race with another organization that fits in, I would love to do it. And Azra they're killing it. I said they're really doing well with their public game. They look good. They're representing the racers well. So I appreciate that. And I would love to. So if possible, yes.
I love it. Yeah. Azra's a great organization. I had the honor to commentate for them at Daytona in October, which was a dream for me. Never thought I'd do any commentating at all. Right. And it was absolutely proper mega weekend for me. It was I close my eyes and I often think about it just because it's so surreal in my mind, right? I feel like, and I go back on YouTube and I listen to it and I hear my voice. I'm like, it's weird when you hear your own voice, right? Because I think I sound one way, but then when I hear it, I'm like, that's how I really sound. Why do you people listen to me? Right? Like,
I've never heard one human being ever go, yeah, the sound of my own voice, it's great. I love it. Awesome. Yeah. I think it's universal because you're so used to the way you hear it that it's foreign to you. So it doesn't matter if you're like if you have a perfect angelic voice that to everyone else, to you, it just sounds different. It's like, let's say it's foreign. So for me, yeah, I hear my own voice and I go,
Do you ever go back and listen to your own podcast?
Pardon?
Do you ever go back and listen to the podcast that me and you do together?
Oh yeah, well you got to review it once to measure yourself on a what's a nice word, on a moron scale or whatever level of mistakery that you went through. So yeah, you always do a one. I think everyone does a once over, or just me. Maybe I'm just oops, but I'll definitely take a look. I mean, I like to see us hanging out. You know, I like to see us like boys. You know, I say like when people do a good vlog from a race or something. I say it's just good to see you hanging out with your dudes. Good to see a good time. That's why I love, you know, things that give you a pathway into the past. And I'm glad, like you said, that you want to be able to have something for your son to watch. And I've really come to appreciate that, and have tried to move in a direction where I'm able to do things like that, like this with the podcast or with social media, you know, to use those avenues for good, to where I can, if I have something good to say, there is a way to get that out there. Or if I just have memories that I want to hold on to, you can do that with cultivating and recording and having moments like this where, yeah, I hope in the future I'm able to come back and watch these and just get a kick out of it and just remember us hanging out. Same way at the track. You know, I love that we've got some really good videographers that are showing up to the tracks now. Some real professionals that are giving all us guys something to look back on. You know? And the photographers, anyone who's out there documenting what's happening, I really appreciate that, because without that, you know, it's hard enough to remember things as is, but when you have something that can trigger your memory, especially like a video or picture that can take you back to it, that can then like open up the avenues in your mind, and then you can start recalling all sorts of memories. But without that, you're just going in cold trying to pull memories out of the dark. But with a good video or a memory like this, then I can go right back to that moment. You can hear it, smell it, taste it, all that stuff. So,
feel the energy.
Yeah, so I appreciate you, and I appreciate anyone who's helping to give me something to look back and go, I remember those days. I remember back when I could walk.
Right.
I mean, Lord willing, I hope I get old age to where I'm able to look back and reminisce and remember. Because not everyone gets old age, and I hope that's a blessing I'm able to experience and look back and have fond memories. Yep. Of the good old days.
The good old days. Let's go. I love it. Actually, we're speaking of real quick. Robert says, Paul, are you right? Oh no, sorry, wrong one. I'll bring that up. He said something else to reply to that. But Aiden Cook, what is up, my man? He says, I'll drop in and say I appreciate the shout outs too. Laugh my ass off.
Yeah, he's something else, man. He's rolling. So when he's showing up, I just go ahead and count one place down.
Well, Aiden, hit me up, man.
Yeah, you should have him on here, man. He's a cool dude, smart guy, and you'd enjoy it. Yeah, and I'm assuming I'll see him in a few weeks, so I'll push for second.
Come on, Aiden, you gotta let my man Paul get in one.
No, I'm gonna see Brian on him. So, and Rafe and Mark, they're coming for you, man.
You're in trouble, Aiden.
Yeah, he almost ran the table last year in, I think, F Superstock. I think he won every single race. And then I think if I'm not mistaken, a ringer showed up at GNF, you know, someone, I don't know, maybe a pro or something. And I don't think he got that one. Sorry, buddy. I think that's true. But other than that, I think he swept the whole year, just undefeated, ridiculous, legend status. So.
Proper mega.
Yeah, and then he got married, so he just living the dream, baby. Yeah. Top of the world.
I love it, man.
Yeah, so congrats to him on that as well.
Yep, congratulations, Aiden, man.
It's sorry, ladies. It's over, baby.
Yeah, it's done, right?
You missed it. The champ is gone. It's over.
Well, yeah, congratulations now, Aiden. You start a whole new, different journey in life. Proud of you, man. Let's go. Proud of your season too. Looking forward to talking to you. Let's see. We got Jeffo 511. He says, and Brian is a hell of a crew chief mechanic for Moto A for me. Let's go, baby. That's Jeff Tate. Yep.
Yeah.
Brian says, Paul, you're a fast dude, my man. You make me want to be faster and faster to keep up with you. And Aiden, as I have had both of you pass me like I'm standing still at times.
Memories, sweet memories. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate the softball there. That's nice.
I love it.
Yeah, well, I say you never know out there. Everyone is fast. So I think I take it as a real honor anytime I'm able to beat any of those guys and gals out there, because no one's slow. I mean, these are all the fast guys from the street who got too fast for the street and had to come out here. So everyone shows up pretty good. It's just a matter of, your bike, your setup, your confidence, things like that. And people like Aiden and Brian, they're set up and their confidence is rocking. So it shows on the track.
This is what it is. Exactly what you just said. Let's see. We got Robert. I was laughing at Robert. He said, thank God he's not running Azra. Still a safe place for me. LOL. That's why I was laughing earlier.
Cool, man. Thanks, bud.
Shane says, you're ripping it, brother. My birthday is the 29th. My footy number, which is football number since I was 5, is number 29. Became my race number when I started until I had to go to 3-digit number 129 for Moto A. But championship point last season. I'll be rocking our number 29 again this season.
Hey!
Let's go. And on top of that, let's go Pies, Shane. Go Pies. Go Pies. Shane will know that. Tate will know what I'm referring to on that.
Okay. Well, that's awesome, man. Congratulations. That's really good news. That's cool to hear. So there you go. I'll have the 29 on the bike this year with you, buddy. Let's go, man. Let's go.
I love it.
Cool.
Great story. There's always a story behind the number, right? And I love that. He says, you're such a gentleman and a great guy, man, Paul, and you too, Simcoe. Love you both and excited to catch up at Daytona. Family and blessed. Let's go, baby. 110%. And my man, Shane, I knew it. Go Pies. Let's go.
Is that some soccer stuff? What are we talking about here? What's going on?
It's rugby.
Okay. That's right. He was a bad A rugby player. Okay. Of course he is. Of course he was.
Right. Him and Tate, right? So big shout out to 64 Degree Racing, one of my sponsors. And man, I can't say enough stuff about Tate and 64 Degree Racing. They're absolutely amazing. So plug, if any AFL, baby, let's go. That's right. So if anybody out here is in the market for an undersuit, please look no further than 64 Degree Racing. I do have another option. My girl, Mama Aliki from Venom too. So you guys can go to venomsport.com. She makes undersuits too as well. They're both the same badass best undersuits you're going to get on the planet, right? So 64degreeracing.com and venomsport.com and tell them Simcoe sent you from Pin to Gas.
Yeah, Tate always supports the program. He's real cool, man. I appreciate him a lot.
Yeah, he's one of those super amazing guys, right? Just like you, just like Shane, just like Robert and Brian and, Jeff O and everybody, man. It's yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. It's being in this community, the racing, the build up. And when you're in there, it just seems like it goes by so fast and you meet new people every year in the paddock, which is also a testament to our sport is growing in a way, just not as rapid as we'd love to see it grow. Right. Let's just be honest. And with new people coming in, brings new competition, which makes you want to level up your game like Mario, right? When you hit the little thing and the mushroom comes out and all of a sudden you're big and let's go, right? You like that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Robert says, I need a custom suit made with friendship money, LOL. Listen, we all do. Right?
Yeah.
That's
Let me know when you find that tree.
That's I use the word friendship instead of sponsorship. I think it sounds like a more appropriate word because you build a relationship with X, Y, and Z, whether it's a company, and even if it's a company, it's always that person, right? So it's a friendship between you and that person. They give you money, however much it is. You give them advertisement and plugs on social media and blah, blah, blah. Stop by, say hi, maybe give them some merch of your own, right? Say, hey, you guys, I appreciate all the love and support this year. Hopefully we'll work together next year, and this is something I do want to talk about a little bit. You being a privateer in club racing, you still got to find the sponsorship friendships. You still got to go out there and help with that extra income. and I know most of my friends, they have a whole packet together. Do you do local businesses? Like, do you email a lot of people, or do you go talk to them face to face? Like, how does Paul McKee go out there and find new friendships?
Yeah. I'll go face to face here local. Yeah, I send out emails obviously for, most of the bike sponsors, stuff that's going to be national. Excuse me. But yeah, I love to go to the local places and offer a partnership. But I'll be honest, it is unfruitful for the most part because I think I'll say anyway, I think a lot of the guys who have tried probably can relate that most doors have been knocked on so much with youth sports and other organizations. Like by the time you get there as a racer, you're standing behind like 17, teen moms and dads who are pushing for dollars for, and that's cyclical. Race season is kind of a part of the year, but they're always getting hit up for money for little league, this and that. So I personally have found it to be not very fruitful locally. I have developed some relationships, but as far as them putting out money, it definitely has been an uphill battle in that regard. So it's not not to say that it won't be successful for someone else. It's all about the people, and if they're looking, a motorcycle racer, although marketable, isn't really going to connect to a lot of local stuff. Now, if you have a local shop, there's where I'm at here, I don't really have in my town, I don't have motorcycle industry. But if you had motorcycle related industry nearby, I would be pitching that hard. And yes, I would take, excuse me, I would take your packet, whatever it is, your resume, and I would walk right in there and go try to talk to some people because the fruitful relationships that I have fostered, that's how that happened. Because it's a miracle to get email through to people these days. They are basically treated as spam. You know how to like try to call someone today and they don't know your number. It's like everyone is on edge for someone trying to take advantage of them. So I would say if you can put a face and a handshake to your name and your program, and I just haven't had great success, but I still believe in it completely. It's just you need the right industry. Around me, I've got some restaurants and some small boutiques, stuff like that that are just the market. I understand how they couldn't see a place that would be a relationship that could garner them a lot of financial benefit. But if you have someone who thinks there's a motorcycle crowd that is also their crowd, then I think you're missing a great opportunity by not going and trying to get them on your team, because it's all about if they like you or not. And I think that kind of goes for a lot of things, like your podcast. You can be you can be the most skilled podcaster in the world, but if people don't like you, they're just not going to tune in. They don't, you'll do a lot of things that you normally might not if you just like someone. So I think if you have, if you're a nice person, you're well spoken, have a good attitude, offer something to them, look like you care about their well-being as long as yours, then I think it's just going to be a matter of finding someone who goes, yeah, I like that kid, I like him, and then the sky's the limit on what they might do for you, especially if they find benefit in it. So I would encourage anyone that's going to be your best bet is to just try to get a face on it, because it is so simple to just not reply to an email. That it doesn't hurt them at all. They can just ignore it. But to ignore you face to face, that's a lot different, and you stay in their minds a lot longer. And like I say, if they like you, I think they'll try to find a way to help you. If they don't like you, then too bad. You were barking up the wrong tree already anyway, and maybe you got other things you need to work on. I don't know.
I feel like also the trick to it, as far as local, that businesses that are in the industry, you got to find that one motorcycle nut that works in that said company or whatever it is. That's like, yes, finally I can sponsor some motorcycles, right? That is the trick, non-motorcycle industry. And you're right about, dude, it's like everybody's fishing out of the same pond, and the pond is literally this big, and everybody's it's you can't even throw any more poles in the water because it's so full, right? And it's answer me this. A lot of the sponsorships, friendships, you do end up, a lot of it's probably discounted parts or maybe free sprockets here or there or something like that.
Right.
It's not really money backed, right? Or like, oh,
Right.
we'll give you $3,000 for this season or whatever. It's like, yeah, we'll
Right.
give you a 30% discount on whatever it is you need, oil, blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah. Which,
Yeah, the majority is going to be discounts with contingencies sometimes, and a lot of the time they you're going to need to be running their gear or running like a newer bike. So that like the newer bike thing makes Kawasaki contingency stuff like that. It's you kind of want to they make you have the newest stuff. So those are kind of difficult. But yeah, as far as your parts and pieces and gear and all that stuff goes, if you put together, a good resume, then I think you have a good chance of at least getting some help on your stuff. And then, if once you build a relationship with them, I've seen, a few of my sponsorships elevate from class, tier C to tier B to tier A over the years because, either they feel like they found some benefit in you or you've just grown to be, someone they like and like helping out. So I that's been immeasurably helpful, the discounts, even though it doesn't pay for everything, it's a substantial amount. And especially when it's repetitive parts, with racing, you're going to have to buy the same thing over and over again. So the quicker you can get someone who's even going to give you a partial help on that, then you're long term, that's going to add up over time.
110%. And with all that money you're saving on whatever discount you get, you could use it for gas and hotels and all tires and all that good stuff in between. It's that's part of the, I don't even want to say just privateer struggle because it's also on the professional level struggle too, as well as always continuing trying to find those new friendships, right? And I'm glad to see there is some outside sponsorships in the paddock too now as well. We just need more of them coming in, right?
Right.
I feel like we also need to, you're right about the local motorcycle businesses, right? Go around and try to find friendships there. I just feel like even with some of them, it's kind of difficult now because nobody's buying sports bikes. And it's like, why do we, they don't even self promote track days or anything as well. At least nobody
Yeah.
in my area. No, there's no
Right.
motorcycle shop, private
Yeah.
shop.
No, they're not connected. Yeah, the disconnect is strong between the racing world and the bike shops, which is sad.
Sad.
So we're working on it. Me and Jeremy, we're gonna try to put together a program and see if we can kind of. I know he's going to be doing some exposés on some local shops, and trying to do that, bring those two families together, because I think without each other, they're in trouble. Racing has its ebbs and flows, but yeah, the bike market, it needs some help. So I think we need to partner up as much as we can. But yeah, they definitely are not eager to be in this community. It doesn't seem that way, at least. There does seem to be two different worlds coinciding in the same universe of bikes, but not really crossing over too much.
That just gave me a good idea. I'm gonna talk to my friends at Moto America, see if I can get some, like 30 tickets or something, go down to my local dealership and say, hey, I'm Simcoe from Pin to Gas Podcast. I interview all these people. Dude, hey, listen, here's 30 tickets for Moto America events. When your customers come in, these are for your employees, but when customers come in, tell them about it. Or is it okay if I come up and set up a table with my little podcast set up and customers come in out the door, be like, hey, you guys ever been to Moto America race? We got one coming up at VIR. Here's some tickets. Come have fun and enjoy yourself, right? Just to try to open up the pathway. And then, if the dealership decides they want to show up and I can take them around introducing them people, maybe it might start something. You don't know, right? So
well, if you don't try, then we'll never know. And that's what me and Jeremy and Maurice and a few guys are really motivated to try to knit the community together a lot more, because we need each other. It's an expensive sport, and bikes are expensive. It's a toy for most people. So to convince people to go buy a toy, they need to be hyped. And motorcycle racing does that. Motorcycle racing will take a guy who's never been excited about bikes, and all of a sudden, one flyby on a super bike, and now he's like, take me to the dealership. So I think I think there's value in that. And if we can, like you said, if you can get customers in front of those same bikes they're selling on the showroom floor, and show what that thing actually is. It's, yes, it will take you from stoplight to stoplight, but what you're actually sitting on is a real rocket, like a real amazing machine that will blow your mind if given the right place, and time. So yeah, I'm pulling for that, and anything I can do to help in that world, you let me know, because I think I always think about how things, even like Moto America and all the greatest and the largest industries and things you can ever think of, it all was just one person going, like, I'm going to try this. And here you are. Now there's these incredible, long lasting institutions that if there just wasn't one guy or gal who was going, you know what, like, let's just try to do this. So you never know. You get enough good people on a mission, and lots of good things are possible.
Success will happen, my friend.
That's right.
110%, especially if you're genuine. And when people see the passion you're bringing, it's they can't get away from it. It's infectious, right? They're like, oh my God, this guy's just his energy and his passion is just this is what we need. This is exactly what we need, right? So yes, I want to be part of it just because of you and what you're bringing to me right now, So let's go. So
Let's go.
yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go down to my local dealerships, and I talked to him before about setting up a little thing and kind of interviewing people coming in, talking to them if they've ever been in Moto America, but they had just new ownership just took over. So the gentleman, I'm not gonna say older guy, the young gentleman, all he ever talked about was MotoGP and Mark Marquez. And I was like, well, what about Moto America and blah, blah, blah. He's like, no, Marquez and blah, blah, blah. And he just single vision, right? And
Sure.
just didn't want to feel like energy wise, he didn't want to have no part to play in it. And I was like, dude, I'm not even asking for money. You ain't gotta pay me. I don't care. I just want to come set up and spread the love for the sport, baby. That's all I want to do, right? Maybe bring my 848 down here and set up on display or whatever. And yeah, my suits and just hang them up, be like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Come to the track, right. This and that, and
that's right. That's right. I'll do that here locally. Like if we have a festival, like a fall festival or something, I'll set up the bikes and throw up, a tent and put some stuff and hang it up and just hand out leaflets to promote, my program, but also to promote the sport and try to get people. Because I didn't even find out that there was semi-pro racing going on right down the street from me until, very late in life. So there is a world that's waiting to be enlightened to what we have to offer. We got to get it in front of them. You got to have eyes on it. I mean, you know how it is. Like if it was nationally televised overnight, things would change. So until that's picked up, until they push us onto NBC, ABC, whatever it is, until we get on that, then it's up to us. It's up to us to push until they can't help put us out there.
110%. I'm here this year. I'm not exactly sure when it is, but stay tuned because I got one of the head technical directors of Moto America coming on the podcast. So we're going to talk all things Moto America, and so all the questions everybody has.
You're going to field questions. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be different, man. I want to, the goal is to get everybody on and get their story told, but also people that don't understand, the inner workings of Moto America. We all have questions on the Talent Cup and the Super Stock merging with the Stock 1000 with the Super Bike class. A lot of my friends are like, what's going on? I see the double-edged sword of it, right? So it's like, yeah, we're kind of eliminating the class when we're merging two, but the one class didn't get no TV time at all, except for on that app or whatever, right? But when they merged it with Superbike, now you're going to get national TV time, which is going to open up the doors and windows for new friendships and airtime, and it's easier for you to present friendship opportunities when you're like, look, I'm on national TV, right? You might be in the backfield, but whatever, right? I see that part of I see the good side of that, right? I also see what my friends are saying about, man, now I gotta, whatever the case might be, whatever, right? Make my bike super stock to a super bike or all the other stuff that goes along with it. So, there's always a yin and a yang. There's always a double-edged sword to everything in life, no matter what it is, right? You can't please everybody, even if you try. Trust me, I know, right? So it's I definitely know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you do. Well, I think their mindset is trying to push, trying to make it a more of an elite sport. But obviously, they have to be very careful because their dream will fail to exist if the underpinnings fall out. Like if the ladder that climbs to Superbike or Moto America is too steep to go, then as much as they want, the Talent Cup to be this elite thing, as much as they want, a bunch of 1,000 cc's to show up who are going to be at the back of the pack and get 2 seconds of TV time, that may not be as possible as they're hoping. I hope so. I mean, like you said, it's what we're dealing with is a bunch of club guys are going to have to spend way more money and invest a lot. It's just they're going to have to level up, and that is good if they can pull it off. But if they can't, then I think there's going to be a great drop off on the back end, and that we'll have to wait and see how bad that hurts them. Because the Talent Cup first year, I would say it was like a kick in the ribs as far as entertainment goes. I mean, for the past few years, watching those Ninja 400s and R3s and 390s race around it was epic. I mean, that was some of my favorite racing, if not my favorite. It was the best racing as far as front to back. I mean, we had 20 people would be coming for you. Could any one of the top 20 could go for a win. And I know they don't like that per se, just because of I think the danger of having that. But dude, the kids are resilient. I don't remember a lot of serious injuries or crashes. I remember most of them just getting right back up, and the racing was flat out awesome. And that Talent Cup last year, sorry, Mr. Moto America, but it was honk shoe, dude. I was sleeping. So maybe in the future it'll be amazing, but as of now, the transition is painful. Painful. To watch such a small grid is rough. When we had a monster grid, and a lot of club guys were able to go run Moto America. Now it's like the elite club guys, which is, like I said, that's good for the overall view. If you're like looking through a MotoGP lens and you want to look good for your neighbors, but if you want to like really help over here, like us, the pillars that hold up Moto America, I think it was a little bit rash, maybe a little bit too. The transition from a bike that is all over the grids to a bike that's basically just a prototype thing that you only see like a Ferrari. Oh, look, is that one of those Kramers? And Ninja 400s are just piling up around you, and now you have to have a specialized bike. And if you want to run club racing, are you going to run your specialized bike in the club, or are you going to have to keep your other bike? And now you're running two different bikes. So yeah, it seems like it was a nightmare for a lot of the people who are real comfortable and having a great time in that series. So I hope it's not as painful for the thousands, because I was absolutely loving the 1,000 having their own race. Just loving it. It was awesome. So what, they weren't on national TV. I mean, again, that's talking from the fan perspective. And yeah, if you're trying to get the big sponsor, it is nice to say I'll be on NBC at some point next year, but I always want to try to find that balance between trying to hustle your way to the top and also just enjoying motorcycle racing. And I think the level of people who are enjoying it it was a big old stack of people who were getting a lot of time and enjoyment, and now that has shrunk. And I think in both of those classes, it has shrunk substantially. So it's just less joy across the board for the fans and the racers. But if their plan works and they're right, and then in the long term, maybe it will bring the whole community up as a whole. But as of right now, it just feels like they're kind of experimenting, and we're living through the experimental stage, which is tough. It's like when the internet came along, everyone had to adjust, and it's like same thing here. They're dabbling with it. They're having, you get the baggers come along, they're changing. So there's a lot of motion within the series trying to get comfortable, and we're just living through that. And it's disorienting for the fan, but incredibly difficult for a racer, because like we talked about earlier, the amount of preparation and planning you have to do for any series, but then when it comes to the pro series, and now it's not just, all right, off season, get ready for the next. Now they come at you with all these different changes, rules, the bike stuff. So now that is just on top of all the stuff that you already had to deal with. So I don't know. I'm pulling for him. I love Moto America. I would be devastated if we didn't have a series here in America like that. But I'm definitely worried how long it will take to bring back that that feel we had from the Junior Cup.
There's a lot to answer on what you just said, right? So I don't disagree with basically anything you said. It's again, it's a double edged sword. I'll start off with saying that JD Beach. I'm gonna use that for example. He was in the stock 1000, right? But let's say the stock 1000 class continued. Would he be? Would he get that super bike ride now, right? In the class, so I feel like it opened up doors too as well. I just try to get both sides of it and step back and look at the greater picture and um analyze both sides, the pros and the cons, right? Because there's always pros and cons to things. We'll see what happens, man. You're right. There's a lot of racers that put up obviously their own money and doing the stock 1000. So that was a shock. My buddy Chris Durbin and Trevor. I mean, a bunch of them, right? So it's yeah. You guys just stay tuned because we're gonna talk all about this. You're gonna hear it from the horse's mouth. So it's I can't wait for that one. It's gonna be a big one. But as far as the talent go, man, I've had such mixed emotions about it. I feel like I'm with you, man. It's like, dude, the 400 class was my favorite class. It was just such great battling. You had these future legends of the sport, from the dead last kid or girl to the front runners, and it was just an epic battle, proper mega battle the whole year, right? The past couple years. It was easily accessible. It was moms and dads that make a combined income of 100 grand or less a year together, right? Can be like, yeah, we can spend 10 grand on this little Ninja 400 and pay the little fee. So let's say the season, you might have 40 grand in the whole season, 50 grand, right? That's feasible. Versus, I will say this, I think towards the whole 400 class, I think that they should have kept it minimal things. It's everybody cheats, dude. It's part of racing. We've been cheating since we started building motors. We invented the wheel. We're running. We always cheat to win, right? No matter what it is, always there's gray areas. We've been in here and been in there to get the best, right? So I feel like as far as that class goes, I think they could have limited the modifications to where it was like, look, no motor work at all, none, period. You can have a pipe, right? Of course, your suspension, no upgraded master cylinders, all that shit's got to be stock. Of course, you can run upgraded brake pads and stuff like that, clip-ons and rear sets. But if you kept that cost down low and it didn't allow $20,000 400s in the class, I mean, $20,000 in a 400,
Right.
dude, that's where I felt that it got ridiculous. I'm like, now we're taking it to that next level that it don't need to be, right? This is the entry level, period, right? So I feel like if we were to focus on that and have a class, whatever the bike may be, R3, just have R3 Cup. Just bring that back, right?
It was awesome. Yamaha's strong here in the States. They always support. I loved it when they had the Blue Crew thing going and all that. It was rolling.
Yeah. So I feel like if we could get back to making it feasible for your average mom and dad and kid to get into from club racing to make that next step to Moto America, would be huge, right? I think that as far as the Talent Cup goes, I'm always honest. So when the idea first came out, I was like, we'll see. Everybody's talking this, talking that. Let's just see how it kind of plays out, right? Not for the whole season. Let's just see how it kind of comes together, what the bikes look like, all this stuff. And, they talked about having a semi there or whatever with all these spare parts. I've never seen a Kramer semi at Moto America event, not one I've been to. And I've been to all the East Coast rounds, right? Except for Barber. Never seen a Kramer, nothing in there. But the Talent bikes, right? And then on top of that, the spare parts are super expensive. Like a windscreen was like $275 or some shit like that. I mean, that's just, bro, ridiculous, dude, right? Like, and then on top of that, we have a motorcycle in this class, and I get it, right? It's unique to America, yada, 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 that had issues at the first. I had to, get rid of the decompression lever, and once they figured that out, it was just, I love the adjustability of the bike because now it teaches the young kids all about geometry and changes, so it's a better understanding when they do make that next step. It's something that they don't have to learn on top of the plate with everything else by moving up to the next class, right? Um, we went from a 30 rider grid to a 13 rider grid, man, like, and on top of that, the whole I get it. We want to be in Europe, and I agree. We need to be in Europe. We need Europeans back over here, right? We need it both ways for real. In order for this sport to grow, it's like our neighbors are across the pond. The same beautiful circus. We need to work together like the dealerships do, right? And open up the doors. Of course, all that comes with money and blah blah blah. But there's a will, there's a way, right? I think the Talent Cup was we had several people in there that even let's just say they won the title. They were aged out from doing the Red Bull tryouts anyway, right? So
Right.
Again, I'm not knocking Moto America. Moto America knows I love you guys and girls, everybody in there. It's just how I personally see it, right? And I've said the same thing over and over again. It's a beautiful bike. They look good. Was it close racing? Sometimes. I mean, DeMario, most of the time, let's just be honest, was just gone, checked out, right? Twins Cup, Deuces, baby. And then we had, Bodie Page and Cody Kopp and, Vosberg, bro. Like he really stepped it up, and which is good to see. But again, Ella Dreyer, uh, King and Carson and but it wasn't really close battles of racing, right? And like you said, who wants to watch a 13 rider grid
Yeah.
when the front guy's 3 seconds ahead anyway? So now
Yeah.
you're really watching maybe 2 or 3 people battle for second, third, and then there's a gap between the back of there. And I'm not saying it's not because of anybody's talent or any of that, right? It just you got a bike that's $30,000 that we only race that nobody else in the world races for one, right? And then you got to have a backup bike, let's just say, right? So that's $60,000 right off the jump. That's a big chunk of change just for 2 bikes, That don't include no spares, and then you have the intrigues and blah 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 blah. So yeah, again, I love you, Moto America. You know it. I'm not talking trash at all. You guys know.
All right. You won't say it, but for me, you need tough love, and sometimes your best friends are the ones who will tell you when you made a mistake. And I'll say this: for me, the biggest mistake that they made was underestimating how much the aftermarket, like parts and crashed bikes, like that is an entry for so many people. Is you're not going to go on Craigslist or on Facebook Marketplace and see a Kramer that was dropped in the driveway that's now going to be your race bike for next year. Like you said, the accessibility to bikes and to parts is so far away from what it was with the 400s, because that is just available in spades, in junkyards, and in your neighbor's yard. On Marketplace, the parts are readily available in all shapes and sizes, cheap Chinese versions and hardcore made in America, every version. But Kramer, that funnels out of one source. And like I said, there's a whole world of people who came in and through racing using that type of situation, a bike that was aftermarket, used, a little bit messed up, parts that they got off of another bike, or cheap because it was able to get them on the track. And that is not the world that the Kramer exists in. It is kind of an elite motorcycle. So I say it's like them starting a little Ducati series. It's kind of a special bike. There's not a lot of people who have the fancy red Ferrari in the driveway. So it's a specialized vehicle, and that knocks out the whole kind of like the paddock world. It's kind of like the guys that we know and love. That's who they are, guys that grab, beat up bikes and turn them into a race machine. And that's gone. I don't see how they thought there was going to be enough people who are just ready to transition from a 400 onto a Kramer and be ready to go. Like, and even if they are, like you said, the discrepancy between racers, once people have been on a bike or platform for a couple of years, they can kind of, get used to it. And we end up seeing competition being a lot closer. But when there's a new bike introduced, it's spread out because people learn in different ways. They have different ways of adjusting to a bike, but you give it a few seasons, a few years, you get that bike tuned up for yourself. But now anyone who wants to move into that series is going to have to either buy a Kramer, run it in club racing, which is, I'm not seeing that, or they're going to have to jump off of their 400, 300, R3 and go straight to a new chassis and go compete, in what is now basically an elite class that is top dollar. And if you make a mistake, what are you going to do? You're going to go to your B bike if it exists, or you're going to have to try to hustle and get parts from a very limited source. So it seems like the odds are stacked against anyone who's not just completely back to the gills, completely prepared to do something like this. Typically, when you're going from a bike that everyone's used to a complete prototype, you're going from a pretty serious machine to now like GP or whatever. But we're talking about kids. These are, this is the young people out here. So to me, having them jump to a prototype off of the bike that everyone's running seems more down the line. And I see what they're trying to do. Like you said, they're trying to make a bridge to Europe, but I just don't know. If there was tons of Kramers, if they had just switched to a chassis that was completely, available and people were used to, but it's so foreign and there's just not a lot of them out there. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm pulling for it, but I don't know. I guess we'll see how the grid is here real soon. I hadn't heard numbers yet. But.
I haven't either. I don't even think they posted anything yet. I need to go and look. But yeah, I mean, it's I feel like this is just my personal opinion. Like, if we're gonna do a path to GP, with the whole Kramer Cup, right? It needs to be its maybe sole separate kind of deal. But then we need to have
Right.
another feeder class that leads up to the Kramer Cup, right?
And that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
We have the mini GP. I get it, right? But let's say you aged out of the Kramer and you don't make it to Europe. Where do you go now? Right now, you're back on production racing at 15 years old, right? Because you just don't have the funds. Right. This is what I tell people: if you have a 5-year-old or a 4-year-old, and your whole aspiration is going to Europe and racing in Europe, sell all your shit right now, all of it, your house, your cars, your clothes, your TVs, and move to Europe straight up. Right. That's what you do, right?
Sure. Right.
Listen, again, I thought about this whole Talent Cup for more than I'll never get that part of my life back by how much thought I put into it, right? So it's great. I love Moto America. It's like any business because they're a business first and foremost, right? So this is what we got. It's a great org. It's our elite program. I love everybody in the whole series, riders, all of them, corner marshal workers. I'm friends with all of them. And listen, it's I feel like it's going to work out the way it's meant to work out, just like everything else in life, right? There's always trial and error, and we try stuff, it don't work, then we take a different path and we see how that goes. That's part of growth too, together and trying to but I also feel like we're trying to bridge the gap, but is Europe trying to bridge the gap to America and help Americans come over there too as well? Right. So it's like that's part of me stepping back and looking at the whole picture too as well, not just Moto America, but everywhere else. So it's still a lot of work to be done, and it could absolutely work, right? We just got to we'll figure it out. We always have, and we'll get there. So we'll see. Yeah, I hope there's just, for my sake, I just hope the grid's more full this year in Talent Cup. I hope it's nobody runs away with it. I hope it's close battles year, throughout the whole season, just like Junior Cup was. So we'll see. I mean, it's an exciting year and racing all the way around from GP in any class, ASBK, BSB. I mean, there's so many rider changes. Jake Gagne stepping away for a year, which we ain't seen no official statement yet, but that's the word on the street. This is, don't take my word for 100%, but it's yeah, Um, and then we got JD Beach on the Yamaha with Bobby Fong. We got Cambobia on the Ducati with Ben Smith. We got Heron back at, to Ray Hall. We got my boy DeMario at Ray Hall. It's like this year's gonna be a proper mega year.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see what he's gonna do because he just seems to be rolling. He's just he got that little extra something, seems like, or at least he has for the past couple of years. Different bike, different platform, different team. You never know how that'll work out, but I expect him to do some serious damage for sure.
110%. We got Mark Morrow, my man. What is up, brother, man? He says, you going to be at TGPR in a few weeks? Bring that 400.
Yeah, Mark, I'm Lord willing, I'll be there. I still haven't got the transmission fixed, so we're still in false neutral land. I'm trying to coordinate and get that done. I talked to Greg, and he said same thing you said, to undercut it, and we'll see. I've got a good mechanic and a little bit of time, but I plan to be there. I don't know if I'll be perfectly ready. I'm trying, so Lord willing. Like I told you earlier, I never have enough time, and I'm the absolute procrastination king of all time in any universe of any world that ever existed. So, Mark, I'll be there. Even if I'm not fast or the bike is acting up, I'll be out there. Just know that I might end up in the grass. So watch out.
And that's another side of the sport that people. I don't want to say people, but sometimes they don't think about it, is when you have motor damage, because stuff happens. Your transmission, you need a transmission rebuild. Well, guess what? You got to pull the motor, take it completely apart, and that costs money, right? Like that's not cheap. That's when you need friendships, right? Like for real, like I need $2,500 for this motor build, right? They're like, what? You're like, yeah, man. This is not cheap, baby. Even for a 400, but yeah, it's
at least it's not a Kramer.
No comment, but you're right. Oh my God. We got Gavin, dude. What is up, Gavin? He says, hello, Chris. What's up, my man? What up, Paul? He says, you're awesome. See you at the track this year. Number 29. What
all right. Gavin in the house, man. You ready to race this year, buddy?
he just got that SV650.
Sick. Yeah, Gavin's legend, man. Gavin come out there to race and tore himself up real quick and was just like ready to go. It was weeks, and he was back out there hobbling around, helping people out. So I knew he'd be back quick. He's bad. So I love seeing people come in and grow, and I expect him to be, taking home some trophies this year, man.
100%. And what am I, chopped liver, Gavin? I got to give him a hard time. That's hilarious. We got Dustin Ray. What is up, my man? He says it's a way not to be tied to a manufacturer directly, really. And then he also says they can change any manufacturer any time when they need to, but the cost is water high. Yeah, I mean, way high. He said way water high.
Yeah. Well, they're good. They're good people. They love the sport like us, and they obviously are willing to change. So, if it's not working out for them, then I assume they'll make a change at some point. But it definitely, they're having some growing pains right now. I think they probably expected there to be a few more bikes than there was, but we'll see. Maybe this year, maybe they got it together. You know how the bike community is. You give them a year and they'll get bikes out there and get ready. But I just don't know how many of those are available. Except for just right out of the showroom. I'm not seeing an aftermarket. A lot of sales of those, that outside of, race ready bikes. So
we'll definitely see what happens, right? Yeah. For everybody listening that's looking to get into club racing, what advice would you give them, Paul?
I would say do it. I would say that whether you're winning or losing, it's basically like the best time you ever had at the campground, with incredible, camaraderie, and then amazing machines just storming around you all the time. So I would say if you're even considering it, then you should do it, because the rewards of just being in that community, in that crowd, are immeasurable, innumerable, and lifelong. I wouldn't know you if I hadn't done it. And I think most racers, if they've been in it for a few years, a huge portion of their friend group is going to be made up of people from the track. So I would say you're destined to have new friends, good family, great times. And if you're good on a bike, then there's all sorts of possibilities that open up to you. But even the worst case scenario of going out there and getting your A handed to you is still awesome. Like, except for the obvious, if things don't go right and you end up on the ground, then that hurts and it can be expensive. But excluding some major accident that you regret forever, then I think it's nothing but good that comes from the track. It makes you a better person, more well-rounded. You have to be thoughtful, careful, driven, motivated, resilient. All the good characteristics you want to have. The track is the gym for all of those. And if you like motorcycles, then you just get this amazing extra thing on top of all the goodness that comes with the community. And then, like I said, then if you're fast, then you get to win races and laugh at your homies and celebrate victories and whatever, man. Live the dream. So I would say the only thing keeping you from doing it is if you like the amount of money you have now, because that will change, and if you don't want to fall in love with something and have to think about it all winter and be at all the races when you can, because I don't see many drawbacks.
No, absolutely not. With saying what Paul just said, the only thing that's stopping you is you. That's it. Get out there and do it, right? Have fun. You're going to meet, like Paul said, the most amazing people in the world. They're family, right? Paul and everybody, they're all my family. It's hard to describe, to put in the words. Just show up. That's all I'm saying. If you've never been to a race, man, listen, go to Azure, go to Into, go to Precision, go to all these different track orgs. They have all the dates scheduled. Just show up to your local track. Just go to the gate, get your little ticket, go up and start walking around. People will say hi. Just walk up and say hi. I'm new to this sport. And next thing you know, it's going to be and you're going to be so in love with it. You'll be like, I need to go buy whatever it is you want to buy, right? And get out there. So
yeah, that's a great suggestion. Just go to a race. Just go spectate and walk around, and you get to experience a sport really up close. When you go to like football games or the typical sports, you're kind of back. You're kind of away from, and the team sequesters themselves at halftime. Like the racers, it's everything's going on. Everything. When he crashes and comes back in, you're going to see him digging the grass out of the bike. You're going to see mom and dad putting the tires on. Like, you get to be up close and personal with something that is really neat to watch. And then I think once you hang out in that atmosphere for just one race weekend, one race day, I think you'll quickly see that it's just a nice place to be. It's just a fun, comforting place to be with people who seemingly go out of their way to welcome in newcomers and commiserate with all the old homies. It's a good place. It's just an awesome place to be. If I could never race again, I would still try to go to every race just to be in that atmosphere.
And with you saying that, you're right. You go to a soccer game, a football game, a basketball game. There's levels of prices to the seat tiers you get to pay for to get as close as you want. Well, guess what? In Moto America, you pay one price and you go up and see anybody you want. You can go to any part of the track you want to go to, and you're up close and personal, and you ain't got to pay nothing extra, right? So that's also the beauty of our sport. It's like it's an open. BSB is the same way, right? It's open paddock. You just walk around and you can walk up to anybody and say hi to anybody. It's nothing like MotoGP. I've been to MotoGP. Man, I can't even tell you how many races I've been to, a shit ton. But in order to get anywhere near close to those guys, they have the fan garage walk where they walk in front of the garage for like 20, 30 minutes. But there's hardly any riders that come out and say hi, right? Yeah, you get to kind of get up close and personals with the bikes and stuff. But unless you buy that exclusive $350, $400, pit pass to go back behind the garages. You're just there to basically watch the race and maybe see whoever you want to see and get a quick little picture from a distance, right?
Right.
I also think that's what makes our sport unique. Moto America and places like BSB, World Superbikes the same way as too. It's just all open paddock. You can just walk around and see everything. And from a fan standpoint, that is everything, right? Because I can't even tell you the thousands of dollars of over the years I paid just to go see Valentino Rossi in person, to get that picture, to get that autograph, right? Like, if it was open and easy accessible, then I think it'd bring more of a crowd to MotoGP personally if they
Sure.
opened up the paddock,
Well,
So
that's something to be said for like exponential growth and being and being so big that you actually go past the point of greatest enjoyment. So although I do pull for and hope for growth for Moto America, I don't wish for, I don't long for the day where it's so big that you're locked out, So I always hope there is a balance where even with Moto America gaining lots of popularity and hopefully being something that is, household names, we can keep that spirit where, yes, you can go and be around the pros and still, like you say, not have to shill out the special pack to be close to the people, and you see it every time. The champions from last year just hanging around, just talking to random people at the racetrack. It's one of many reasons why it's a great place to be. But yeah, it's definitely unique in that respect where you have such incredible athletes and a spectacle going on like that, and it's just open door policy. So I hope they always keep that.
I don't foresee it ever going anywhere. That is what makes us too as well, right? Having that open paddock, and yeah, it's one of the most beautiful things in the world. You're right. You walk around, you see Bobier standing there talking to whoever. You see Loris Baz or Heron or whatever it is. Especially if you boys and girls show up to Jersey at the end of the season, right? It is because the season's over, so everybody's relaxed, everybody's hanging out, having beers, talking. Yeah, it's great. That's absolutely amazing. Dustin Ray says, watch for the number 290, Arai Thunder Ray, on the Moto America Super Sport grid this year. Paul, let's go. Dustin, let's get Arai Ray on the podcast, baby. Reach out to me on social media. Let's do it. Let's make this happen. 100%. Yeah, I like it. That also shows that our sport's growing too as well. And when you go from every class you step up in Moto America comes with a bigger set at different costs. I'll say that, right? So, yeah, good on you, Dustin, dude. I hope Arai goes out there and mops the floor up, right? But you're going to be battling my buddy Shane Lloyd Maggs and all my other buddies out there too as well. So it's not going to be easy, baby. I'm just telling you.
No.
I love it.
It's a fast people.
Oh man, yeah. Paul, dude, we're about an hour and 30 into this podcast, bro. It's freaking awesome. He says, thanks, guys. You are truly awesome. No, you are absolutely proper mega, my friend. Don't forget to reach out to me on social media. Just shoot me a message on Facebook Messenger. I'll reply 100%. Paul, let's definitely sit down and do this again. This has been an absolute proper mega time, as it always is. As always, I'm gonna let you end the podcast, but before I give you the mic, I just got to give some shout outs. And the first one is, and I always say this, and I mean this: if it wasn't for Paul, if it wasn't for Dustin, if it wasn't for Mark, if it wasn't for Robert, if it wasn't for Shane, if it wasn't for everybody that's listened to this podcast, all the likes, the subscribes, you are the reason why I'm sitting in this chair. It's not me. It is you. And because of you, I'm here and I'm forever grateful. It's an honor. And I love each and every single one of you. And I mean that. I cannot wait to see everybody at the racetrack this year. Big shout out to, again, Undersuits, 64 Degree Racing, and venomsport.com. Big shout out to my man, Anthony Terry, with the Racer 41 program out there in the CVMA. Big shout out to my man, Jake Marsh, and R&D Racing out there in the UK. Everybody out there in the UK or in the United States, if you wanted to, could go to clothingkings.co.uk and get all your Pin to Gas podcast merch. That's where I get my soft sell jacket and some of my shirts and my beanie hats from. What else? I just love each and every single one of you. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. Yeah, let's go. Paul, tell everybody where they can find you on social media, when you're going to get some merch for sale, all that good stuff.
All right. I would just, if you care, if you want to see it, I would just Google Paul McKee 29, and that'll probably link you up. Paul McKee 29 is most of the handles, something like that. Let me give. That's right. It's your favorite poster, isn't it? That's right.
If you can't tell, I've been rearranging my room some, right? So it's a work in process. I got more posters I'm gonna put up and fill it in. But yeah,
All right, looking good, man. Thanks, buddy. Let me say thanks. Let me talk to some good people here. Shayna, at Truth Be Told, you know her obviously, so she's out there doing amazing things. You know, she's killing it out there with AMA. They're same thing with Azure. Everyone's kind of stepping their game up publicly, and she's been done a lot for them. So representing the West Coast out there. Thank you, Shayna, for everything you do for me and for everybody else. Brandon and Nathaniel at KYT, you know, just awesome guys, incredible people doing a lot for the sport. You know, KYT, they've been doing a lot more here in the States. And I know Brandon's making a big push to help a lot of the racers here. And it's been awesome for me. I love the helmets, my favorite that I've had. So thank you, Brandon. Appreciate that. Darren from Forma Boots, my favorite boots I've ever had. I keep pushing for them to make some more fluorescent yellows, but they won't do that as of yet. But other than that, thanks, Darren. Appreciate it, man. Greg at Spears Racing, always I can count on him if I got questions. You know, just an awesome guy. If you're running smaller bikes, he's your authority. So check him out, Greg Spears, Spears Racing. Tate, obviously, 64 degrees, legend. I'm waiting on my suit, buddy. Let's get together, man. We got to do it real soon. What you got? Oh, you got your new one. Okay. Yeah. Right. Sick. Hey. Noise. Yeah, we're busy, so I hadn't got up with him, but mine's coming soon, Lord willing. Alex from O'Neill, all the dirt bike stuff. O'Neill, great company. 1X, Tulio from 1X. I love it. It's protected me many times. Great suit. All Balls, cool company doing a lot for racers. Woodcraft, I know they help a lot of people out in the club racing scene. My buddy Seth, Brit Pest Control, always supportive, good dude, bug killer. Jeremy, this year, I'm going to be back helping him doing a lot of Moto America stuff. So thanks, bud, for all that. I really appreciate bringing me on. Have a great time doing that. Hey, yeah, you living the dream, baby. Yeah. They're good. I love those boots, man. I've put them through it, and they've been good. And I say they're comfortable. So let's see. My buddy Matt, he's my mechanic, Matthew Satterfield. If you need any serious motor work done, if he's got time, when he's done with my bike, I'll let him know you need him. So just contact me, and I'll get you in touch with him. And then Eric at Superbike Supply, always a cool dude. Always good to see him in the paddock. I know they're back in they're running their Superbike again this year, so I'm looking forward to seeing him out there with his team. So thanks, Eric, for all you do. Jeff, Chef Eats, haven't seen him in a minute, but appreciate all you do, buddy. And all my boys over at Weir, man, good people.
Yeah, Eric from Superbike Supplies, absolutely amazing for sure.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a minute. I need to get up with him, see how his programs. I know he's a busy man right now too. So
110%. Before we get off here, a couple more comments. Dustin says, "Thanks, guys. You are truly awesome. You, my friend, is absolutely proper mega."
Thanks,
He says, "Wish you the best this year, Paul." Absolutely. And then
thanks,
Leach
man.
Andrew, what is up, Leach, my man? He says, "I need some stickers, Simcoe. Go Paul McKee." Leach, shoot me a message on Facebook Messenger, bro.
Thank you, brother.
I got you 100%. Yeah. So listen, Paul, it's always an honor to sit down with you, my friend. I always enjoy our conversations. I can't wait to see you at the track and get that big old bear hug like we always have and in our talks, right? Because I miss those
Yeah, man.
talks we have. So we're
Yeah,
definitely gonna
we got some stuff to talk about. So
110% we do. Let's go, right? And listen,
yeah,
on
man.
that note, it's Saturday. I hope everybody's weekend is as proper mega as you are. Stay tuned. I got some podcasts coming up this week. I will be at Daytona in March, so will Paul. So I hope you out there with Jeremy. Shane's going to be out there. So listen, I got so many friends out there. Just make sure you stop by and say hi to everybody. Get that picture, get that autograph, show that love and support. Trust me, it helps out a lot. And again, thank you so much for all y'all's love and support. And on that note, we are out of here. Paul, is there anything you want to say before we're gone?
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. See you at the track.
Let's go, baby. Just stay on with me for 1 second.
Calling all two-wheel enthusiasts, get ready to rev up your earbuds with Pin the Gas Podcast, the ultimate motorcycle racing podcast, hosted by Chris Simcoe, one of our very own excellent leaders here in Roanoke, Virginia. With expert analysis, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive writer interviews, Pin the Gas Podcast delivers the adrenaline rush of the racetrack straight to your ears. Whether you're a diehard fan or a curious newcomer, you'll gain insights that will transform how you watch and understand motorcycle racing. On your favorite podcast app, join Simcoe as he takes you on a high-speed journey through the world of motorcycle racing. Pin the Gas Podcast.